Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, Raila Odinga and William Samoei Ruto had a meeting in Mombasa County, and the reason why they had meeting, it was all about trying to solve the problem in as far as what Azimio was raising and what Kenya Kwanza is standing for. And with all that, then we know they moved forward to form a committee, because then Raila is not interested on just having a one-on-one meeting with William Ruto and then solve the problem. No, he don't want a repeat of what happened between him and Uhuru Kenyatta. But again, what also came out clear before and even during this time is that both Raila Odinga and William Ruto have ruled out the issue of handshake. Neither Raila Odinga or William Ruto is interested in handshake. And it is just because of obvious reasons. Number one, Raila Odinga has interest in 2027 general election. It's either he's on ballot, and if he's not on ballot, he will be seconding another candidate. And if he will be sponsoring another candidate, that means you need to campaign for that candidate. Going for a handshake means you compromise that kind of campaign. For William Ruto's side, he understands that he will be seeking re-election. And because of this, if you go to a handshake, then Raila does not support him, then it means he will lose a lot. Because of these two issues, the interest in the next general election, both camp has ruled out the issue of handshake. But then what I want to use this issue of handshake, Gachagwa, Ichungw'wah, and the Azimio side, Kenya Kwanza side, especially the team from Mount Kenya region, they are still talking about the issue of handshake as if there is anyone in Azimio who is interested in that. The truth is that no one has interest in handshake, because it is harmful for Azimio, it is also harmful for Kenya Kwanza. But above all, even Kenya Kwanza, I think it might gain. In fact, if Raila goes into handshake with Kenya Kwanza, Ruto is standing to gain. Because then there will be a level of cooperation. And that means if there is a blame in government, both of these individuals are going to carry that blame. So, the talk has to continue because Kenya Kwanza has produced their team. Azimio have also come out with their team. But then, checking on how Kimani Ichungw'wah, who is leading the Kenya Kwanza side, is reacting, it tells you that he is a man in a mission to delay even this talk. Because he cannot go ahead to discuss what they need to discuss in that meeting through a letter. Then he goes ahead even to push ahead that talk as if he's the one who just need to give the date when they have to meet at the venue. That is like Azimio cannot propose anything that can go through unless if Kimani Ichungw'wah has approved it. So with all this, we are seeing a man who is playing tactic to delay this talk, and again, he just wants to make sure that even the talk itself is not succeeding. Then with all this, we saw Kipchumba Murkomen in a same meeting with the Homa Bay Governor Gladys Wanga. And there is something Kipchumba Murkomen is bringing out, which is totally different from what Kimani Ichungw'wah has been talking about. Because we know Ruto is in Mount Kenya region, and a same attack handshake. He is right to say he don't want handshake. What was me in Fawa happen? And the reason is that Raila has told him he don't want handshake. But he wants now to play politics around to say that nimekata mambo ya handshake. But Raila does not want a handshake. I want to tell you one thing. If Ruto was serving his second term in office today, he would beg on his knees to have a handshake so that Raila will be on his side. I want to tell you, this is the truth. Ndio ukweli. But he know. Anahitaji kurudi kwa ballot. Na anajua kila kitu Gachagwa na hiyo timu nyingine watafanya kula Mount Kenya region. Now, listening to CS Kipchumba Murkomen, I think this is the second time Kipchumba Murkomen is meeting with the Gladys Wanga. At first time, it was when they were launching the the flight from Nairobi to Homa Bay, direct flights. Today it was a fundraise drive helping to construct a church. So this is what Kipchumba Murkomen tweeted. I want us to posted on his Facebook page. I want us to go through it, because then he's speaking to Kimani Ichungw'wah. This is what he's saying. My sister Gladys Wanga hosted us today for a church service at Nyalienga Catholic Parish in Kochia, Rangwe constituency, Homa Bay County. We later had a privilege to support the construction of the church sanctuary through a fundraiser. I was accompanied by friends, Honorable Caroline Omondi, Super South, Honorable David Ocheng Ugenya, Honorable Dominic Kosgei, former MP Sotik, and Jacob Chirchir, Chairman KFC, among others. I truly believe that politics should not make us enemies. We must be able to work together. The ongoing talks are a part of our constant discourse to better our country. It is regrettable that recently people resorted to violence which led to loss of lives and properties. It's however edifying to know that we have an agreement on already two things. First, that we shall never again entertain terror and violence as part of the tool of our governance. Second, that we shall not entertain a mongrel system of government that does not tell between those in government and those providing oversight in the opposition side. Hiyo ni ukweli. Kenya Kwanza walisema wataki handshake, Azimio wanasema kwamba they don't have any plan to go into handshake. With the two agreed position, it shall not be difficult for our friends in a bipartisan committee to engage and agree. Even where they don't agree, there is nothing wrong with agreeing to disagree and move forward. That is Kipchumba Murkomen. That is what he posted on his Facebook page. But this is what he said. I quote him now in that service event. Both rival teams have set their agenda, which should be discussed by the two teams. They shall thus stop wasting our time and begin the talks as soon as possible. The dialogue between the two coalitions is healthy for our country. I urge the two teams to hold the conversation in good faith so that we can continue with the uniting our country. Hiyo ni yenye alisema akiwa pale Rangwe. Now, people have been talking about this issue of the committee, and we know the team that Ruto chose from Kenya Kwanza side is hardliners team, especially wakiongozwa na Kimani Ichungw'wah, their leader, hardliner number one, a man who do not want anything to move. Anataka tu akae pale mahali penye anakaa. Kama ni maandamano iendelee, kama ni nchi iharibike, kama ni uchumi iharibike. Even if it will mean Ruto losing the grip of governing this country, yeye hajali. Ile kitu anajali tu mambo iko vile iko, aendelee kusherekea. But then listening to Kipchumba Murkomen, he's speaking different language. But I want to tell you one thing here, and I've been saying this. When Kimani Ichungw'wah is speaking, Kimani Ichungw'wah is not speaking for William Ruto. This one you have to understand. Ichungw'wah is speaking for himself, Gachagwa, and their cronies, not William Ruto. And they are the one pushing William Ruto to a corner so that he will align with what they want. So don't be misled. And put it the way it is and the way they are treating Ruto, because now they have held him hostage. Ruto is under siege. He was pushed to a corner to an extent he don't have any other option to choose but to settle on Ichungw'wah to lead the Kenya Kwanza side. But then if you hear people like Kimani Ichungw'wah speak, Kipchumba Murkomen is speaking, then you should know that that is a voice from William Ruto's side. So anyone believing what Ruto is saying when he's in Mount Kenya region should think twice. Neither Mount Kenya or Azimio or Kenyan or even Gachagwa should trust William Ruto. No one should trust William Ruto. Even Raila, even Azimio or even Kenya Kwanza or watu wa Mount Kenya, hata wa Kenya. You know, Uhuru made a decision. Ruto side, I'm with Raila Odinga. Ruto is now coming in a different way. Anataka Raila akue hapa, Gachagwa na Kenya Kwanza wakue hapa, Azimio ikue hapa, wa Kenya wakue hapa, kila mtu akue hapa na acheze kila mtu, which might not work. That's how he's playing his politics. And this one will land him in a huge problem. He has to make a decision to either sort out the problem that is facing Kenyans. Because then, the quick that you could have gone for is a handshake, but Azimio has interest in the next election, they don't want. So, in as much as Ichungw'wah is making huge noise, he should listen to what Kipchumba Murkomen is telling him. They want this talk to succeed, but Kimani Ichungw'wah do not want anything to succeed. In fact, he wanted to fail completely. That's why he's discussing what they need to discuss on the table in a letter, which is very wrong. So with all this, we are seeing a mixed reaction. The William Ruto side is responding, and the Gachagwa side is also responding. Azimio is just watching them. I don't know your views, but let us meet in the comment section for continuation of this conversation. Thank you, and see you in our next video.